Hello everybody, welcome to the video. Today I'll be showing how to foam roll your calves, okay? I'm going to begin with explanation and then you can skip ahead to the part where I really dig into the foam rolling. But for the explanation piece, the foam roller is really one of the most versatile and forgiving self-massage tools that's available. It's super cheap, super accessible, and you're going to have multiple different densities of foam rollers, so different firmnesses, different shapes. The one I have here is flat. Some of them will have ridges. Okay, the ridges apply more point pressure at the point of the ridges. I like the smooth flat ones because I feel like I can really move around it a lot easier as I'm foam rolling. So I have a firm density flat one that I'll be using today, and this is I think this is 18 inches in length, and then you have some that are 3 feet long. Doesn't really matter for what we're doing here with the calf. So to use the foam roller on a specific muscle region, you're essentially going to apply pressure to the muscle region. Okay, seems pretty simple, but I'll explain how you can modulate the different amounts of pressure based on what your tolerances are. Today, we are going to foam roll the calves, mainly the soleus and the flexor digitorum longus, which are two muscles that live in the back of the lower leg and contribute a lot to the problem that people have of shin splints. I'm currently struggling with some shin splints right now, and foam rolling this region has been my saving grace, and it's been one of the things that's helped me the most. So I want to show you guys how to do it. So essentially, I'll go through how to modulate pressure with this foam roller in this area, and then I will go into the specifics for the soleus and the flexor digitorum longus muscles. Okay? So first, as far as it goes for pressure modulation, like I was saying earlier, you essentially are just going to put pressure through the muscle you want to foam roll, and that's essentially what we're going to do. But there's many different ways to do that. So if I want to make it as easy as possible for my calves, I'm going to start by keeping my hips on the ground. Okay, I can stabilize with my hands. I'll have two legs on the foam roller, and I can just go back and forth like this, applying a downward pressure with my legs into the foam roller. Now, for most people, this is going to be pretty light, and there's really not going to be that much pressure, but you can move the foam roller to different parts of the calf. In just a general mention, we're not really going to focus too much on putting pressure through the Achilles tendon. That's not going to be too beneficial. So really, we're going to try to foam roll from this zone even up to the back of the knee. That's going to kind of be our sweet spot. We're not going to worry too much about the Achilles tendon. So as I'm going up and down, that's kind of where I'm going. You could, with the hips down and the double leg pressure, kind of get more to the bottom part of the calf, not so much the meaty part, but even below that, and massage that region, and you might be able to feel a good amount of pressure there. For myself with the shin splints, I feel a little bit of something here on the left side, which is my worst side, but I'm going to want some more pressure. So to give myself more pressure through the calf, the first way I can do that is simply by lifting up my hips. So by lifting up my hips, yes, more pressure is going through my hands, but also more pressure is going to be able to go through my legs. And again, I have this double limb support. So the pressure is distributed through both calves. Okay, so a little bit more pressure here, still not that much. So essentially what I'm going to want to do is lift up one of my legs. If I lift up one of my legs, okay, I can put it down if I need that stability. I can really start to get some more weight in through this left leg. Okay, now I have this foot down, this right foot down, pressure through my hands, and then weight through this left leg. If I want to give it even more pressure, really what I'm going to want to do is lift up. And I have this leg raised, and I'm going to put pressure like this. So because I have all my pressure through this leg, I'm just going to rest this foot on top, which is going to add more pressure, okay? If I really want to give it maximum force, I'm going to push down with this right leg on my singular left calf, and I'm going to be able to massage it like that with my hips off, okay? So this is the maximum amount of pressure that I can put through it. So to go through that spectrum again, we have hips down, double leg. We have hips up, double leg. Then we have single leg, but this leg stabilizing. And then we have single leg, and then single leg with the other leg on top, and then single leg with the other leg pushing down. Okay, so that's kind of a nice gradient to think about. And essentially all we're doing is putting more pressure through the foam roller and through the calf by manipulating what the other parts of your body are doing. Okay, so for the treatment of shin splints, more in the posterior region of the shin, this is often called medial tibial stress syndrome, when people have pain up and down this part of their leg, so the inside part of their tibia. Okay, really what's going on in this diagnosis is the soleus, which is a muscle that you can see here in this image. The soleus and the flexor digitorum longus are pulling at the back of the tibia. So the muscles are so taut that they're pulling against the lining of the bone in the backside, kind of medial side of the tibia, and that creates this pain over here in the medial tibia. So the way you're going to want to treat this is a combination of mobilizing that area, and the foam roller is a great way to do that, kind of massaging the area, decreasing the tension in that muscle, as well as strengthening these muscles afterwards, because part of the reason that they're tight is because they're too weak and they're fighting for some degree of stability, and they do that by becoming and the muscles do that by becoming tight. And in an instance of shin splints, it creates this pain as the tight muscles that are weak are pulling on the bone in the tibia. Okay, so enough talking. We are going to foam roll the soleus and the flexor digitorum longus. So we're going to start with the soleus. Like I showed earlier, and what I can probably do is put the image up again, is where the soleus is. So it's not really this meaty part of the calf. It's going to be right underneath it. Okay, so the soleus lives underneath the meaty part. The meaty part is the gastrocnemius. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my hips off, other leg pushing on top to apply maximum pressure through the soleus. Okay, from here, I'm going to really be targeting that area underneath the meaty part of the calf. And all I'm going to do to start is I'm just going to go up and down, just going straight up and down. I'm going to push with that top leg into my bottom leg, which is pushing into the foam roller, and giving the soleus a nice massage, going back and forth. My arms are active here, my shoulders are active, my core is engaged. Okay, foam roller is a really awesome way to do a full body workout / activity. I don't know if I could call it a workout, but full body activity. Everything's engaged. Okay, and you're going to kind of go up and down this area. Again, I'm really staying off the meaty part of the calf because I'm not targeting the gastrocnemius right now. I'm more targeting the soleus, which lives a little bit lower and deeper. Okay, so really the area where the meaty part becomes the tendinous part of the calf is really going to be a nice spot for me to work. And I'm also angling my foot. So if you see here, my toes are pointed to my left, and that puts a pitch to my lower leg, and I can get the side part of the soleus there. Okay, put a little bit more pressure here. I found a nice tender spot for myself. Put some pressure there. Okay, and then I'm going to go more to the medial part of the soleus. So I'm going to turn my toes to my right, and I'm going to go up again. Start putting some pressure here again, more below the meaty part of the calf. Now, this area where we are on the medial part of the tibia is going to be most tender, and we have to be careful not to push directly on the bone. So I'm not going to get all the way on the side here with my foot turned like this, totally parallel with the ground. That's just going to push on the bone itself, and there's not really a whole lot to be done about that. So what I'm going to make sure I'm doing is angling my foot just slightly. Okay, and now I'm going to be able to get more into that
Flexor digitorum longus
muscle, which lives more on the medial part of the lower leg. Okay, so because of this angle, it gets really difficult for me to put my right leg on top. So I'm just going to take my hand and apply some downwards pressure here. Okay, this spot, I'm really going to try to trace the back part of my tibia on a slight angle. If you can see my foot here, I'm not totally like this. I'm not totally like this. Kind of at like a 45, and I can push in and kind of angle my leg down and along the back side of my tibia as I push, and I'm thinking about kind of a little bit more behind where the soreness I have in my shins, my shin splints. I'm trying to think of pushing on the muscles that live behind it. So right here, I get a nice soreness, I'll call it. And I'm just going to spend some time here pushing, and I'm pulling with my hamstring. I'm pulling into the foam roller and pushing with my hand to apply the maximum amount of pressure for this muscle at this angle that I can muster. And a lot of times people ask me, how long do you foam roll for? How long should I foam roll for? One of the things I love about the foam roller is that it's super forgiving. So there really isn't such a thing as too long, okay? But I like to tell people to do at least 5 minutes of foam rolling if they're gonna foam roll. So I know that this area is a weak spot for me. I can say a stiff spot, stiff area, an area of opportunity if I'm trying to stay positive. And there have been times where if this is really acting up on me, I'll spend 45 minutes foam rolling my calves, okay? And I get a significant amount of relief from that. And I'm basically just going based on feel. I'm pushing with my leg into the foam roller. I'm applying pressure. And over time, it should decrease some, even within the same foam rolling session that I have going on. So as I'm pushing into this, I'm always kind of monitoring, and I'm seeing, okay, is that tender? All right, let me spend some time there. Let me change my angle. Let me change my pressure, go back and forth. Okay, trying to feel that area release. Okay, and this is a good moment to talk about the speed. I could have mentioned this much earlier. But if you notice, because I'm really spending time on these specific areas, my speed is super slow. I'm not going lightning speed through it. This isn't doing anything, okay? I want to spend time on intentionally driving pressure through the foam roller with the back of my leg and just making very small adjustments as I go through and apply that pressure. Okay, there are some really sore areas right here for me. So I'm spending a little bit more time here than some of the other areas which actually felt okay today. I'm going up and down. So you're welcome to foam roll much longer than this if you can feel the tenderness in some of these areas. You're welcome to switch sides and spend some time on that side. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more running related content, injury prevention, exercise tips, workouts, that kind of stuff, subscribe to the channel. If you feel like this video is helpful for you, maybe another runner will find it helpful. So send it on over to them. Thanks. Have a great day.